Hey everybody, Simistic here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. Decided to start out my day doing a little yard sailing. The past few times I went out, I got a lot of great stuff and a lot of good deals, got a lot of great movies for really cheap. Unfortunately today, I hit up maybe about 10 yard sales, 10 garage sales, and I really didn't find much anything. Only 2 of them had any movies whatsoever. First one had just a bunch of Barney and VeggieTales in a box. Obviously I'm not getting that. And another one I went to, they actually had a fair decent amount of VHS tapes, but it was all just either A, everyday titles that everybody has, or B, anything they had that might have been pretty cool. Like they had some like the older Star Wars releases and stuff, but the cases looked like they had gotten like water to them, like they were water damaged. So, for collecting purposes, wasn't going to buy them. But I did end up getting 2 titles from them. Nothing too special, but for 25 cents each, figured I'd grab them. The first title I picked up was Alice in Wonderland. I have come across this a few times on DVD, but I've always just passed it up. Never knew what quite to make of it, if I wanted to get it or not. It's always been a little bit too expensive too. I never come across this for like, $5 or less. It's always like $10 or something like that. But, I mean, it has a really decent cast here. Martin Short, I guess it actually probably says everybody's in it. Whoopi Goldberg, again, Martin Short, Christopher Lloyd, Gene Wilder, and many more. There's a lot. I mean, you can see right there, really good lineup. So I love the story. Alice in Wonderland is a fantastic story. Great book. All the other movie renditions of it I've seen have been pretty good. So I look forward to watching it. Should be good. I mean, the great story plus a great cast. I'm thinking this might be pretty interesting. Although they could go a little goofy with it and totally mess it up. I don't know. We'll see. But I look forward to checking this one out. And the last title I grabbed from the yard sale was A Christmas Carol. Again, another movie that I've come across here and there on DVD, but I've always passed it up. Never knew if it was going to be a good version of it. Plus, I never found it for a price I really wanted to pay. So I figured for 25 cents, I'd pick it up, check it out. All the other versions of Christmas Carol I've ever seen, I've pretty much enjoyed. I have like about 300 versions of A Christmas Carol. I mean, every cartoon, every TV show, every, the Muppets, just everybody has done a version of the Christmas Carol. So this is just one more to add to the collection. Again, I liked all those. They're all pretty good. It's the same story just over and over again, but they're all pretty much told, decently. So I look forward to checking this out. I'll probably check this out this Christmas. Hopefully it's a good watch. So that's it for what I got at the yard sales. But since I didn't get too much there, decided to run out to one of my local flea markets and see if I could find anything. And sure enough, I did. Found 3 great titles. The first one I picked up was No Small Affair. Looks pretty good. Features John Cryer and Demi Moore. Sounds good to me. I love these 80s romantic movies. I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. It should be pretty good. The next title I grabbed, got simply for collecting purposes. I saw the artwork, thought it was very cool, definitely wanted it in my collection, and that is Ghostbusters 2. Look at that artwork. I mean, tell me that's not great. For 50 cents, I had to get this. I love it. I love that it's Roman numeral 2 instead of the actual number 2, like you see on most of the, I believe on the DVD, and I think some of the later VHS tapes, it's actually a number 2 as opposed to Roman numerals. Thought that was really cool. Love comes in this copper-colored clamshell. Awesome. Seems to be part of the Columbia TriStar family collection right there. Just excellent, excellent artwork. Thought this was brilliant. Definitely had to have this in my collection. Again, 50 cents, it was a no-brainer. And the last title I grabbed was great. Something that I've been looking for a very long time. I remember seeing this back in the day for pretty cheap. At a bunch of stores, I think like Walmart, some stores like that used to have it, and I just passed up on it, never got it. Years later, kicked myself for it, didn't know if I'd ever come across this again, and sure enough I did today. Came across it for $3, great deal, and that is the double feature set here of Troll and Troll 2. Yes, I've actually never seen these movies. I just picked up Troll 2 maybe like a month or 2 ago on VHS. I have not yet gotten around to watching it. But I've heard great things about these films. I hear they're just so cheesy and goofball that they're just so bad they're good. So I really look forward to watching these, especially Troll 2, because that's the one I'm sure we've all heard about. It's apparently the best worst movie. That's what the documentary for Troll 2 is called. So, I've heard that. I've heard it's just such a great bad movie. So I definitely look forward to checking these out. Again, for $3. This was a great, great deal. Discs are completely perfect. Not a fingerprint or scratch on them. It basically looks brand new. So excellent deal for $3. Definitely had to grab this. Very happy to have this in my collection. So that's it for what I bought today. So now that's what I watched. And last night around 11 o'clock, after I got done doing my video and uploading it, I thought, since it was my birthday after all, I would sit down and watch Bloody Birthday. Just picked it up on VHS maybe like a month or 2 ago. Had yet to watch it, so I thought, perfect, it's my birthday, I'm going to watch Bloody Birthday. Unfortunately, the audio was off. Video looked fine. It was a VHS. Video looked fine. It was perfect, but for some reason the video was all, or the audio was all like wobbly, and there's just an issue with the audio track on the VHS tape. So unfortunately, it was unwatchable. Couldn't check it out. Oh well. But today, I did sit down and watch a fantastic title, the scariest movie I've ever seen. This movie has horrified me ever since I was a little kid. Definitely the scariest movie I've ever checked out. So tonight's Halloween Horror-thon title was The Exorcist, the version you've never seen. Again, scariest movie that I have ever seen. It's Reagan. It's that face. It's the story. I mean, when it comes to movies like, Frankenstein or, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, those characters like that, I don't think I'm going to run into Freddy anytime soon. I don't think I'm going to run into Jason Voorhees anytime soon. Not happening. But this is supposed to be real. This is exorcism. This is supposed to be really happening to a real person. It's a real live monster. It's an actual monster. And that freaks me out to know that, this is supposed to actually exist. Now, whether you believe in exorcism or not, whether you believe in possession or not, it's debatable. But me personally, I don't necessarily know if I believe it or not. I don't know. When it comes to like those religion things and possession and pretty much just anything religion, based, I'm kind of up in the air. I'm very agnostic when it comes to that stuff. I'm like, well, maybe it's real, maybe it's not. Who's to say? So when it comes to that stuff, it's like, well, I don't necessarily believe in it, but at the same time, I don't not believe in it. So the way I see it is it definitely could be a real thing. And the fact that it's a real monster, a real creature, it's really happening, that freaks me out. Plus, she looks horrifying. The things she does, the things she says, her head spinning around freaks me out. Her makeup is just horrifyingly scary. And the version you've never seen, when she spider walks down the stairs, just terrifies me. I get chills every time I watch this movie. Pretty much the whole movie, I have like goosebumps and my hair's on end. Just completely freaks me out. I said that in my my top scary movie video, where I talked about all the movies that have scared me the most. This one got #1 because it's horrifyingly scary. It's just scared the hell out of me for years. In fact, I actually made the wife sit down and watch this one with me because I didn't want to watch this alone. That's how much this movie freaks me out. It just terrifies me. So, fantastic story. Again, very scary. At least I know a lot of people don't agree with me. There are a lot of people who don't think this movie is scary at all, but I think it's horrifying. Again, the story is fantastic, really well told. It's not boring at all. It's just great storytelling. Only downfall I'd say is the ending. It seems a little bit weak when the priest has Reagan and he's like choking her and saying telling the demon to go into him and take his body. And the demon quickly does, and he just goes flying out the window. It just seemed a little weak. Like, I don't know what I would have wanted to happen. I honestly can't say, this should have happened instead. I'm not sure how they would have ended the movie, but it did just seem a little bit like, oh, that was it. Like, they've been battling this demon, trying to get it out of Reagan, and all he had to do was just yell at the demon and say, take my body instead, and that was it. So I thought that was a little weak. I wish they would have done something else. Again, what, I don't know. I really can't say how I would have seen the movie ending any other way. I'm not really sure, but something else. Something other than just like, oh, it happened, okay? Like, the demon's out. That's it. It just seemed a little bit too just, boom, it happened. It just seemed a little bit too quick for me. So that's the only downfall, I'd say, of the movie, but it's not really that big of a downfall. It works. The ending works. It's not a bad ending. It's just, like I said, it seemed a little too quick, a little too easy. But, again, fantastic film. I would highly recommend it. I don't really think I need to get into this film. I'm sure most of us have probably seen it. And if you haven't, I don't even want to spoil anything because it's one of the greatest movies I've ever seen. Again, scariest movie I've ever seen. I would highly recommend everybody check this out if you haven't seen it yet. And if you have seen it, watch it again because it's brilliant. So that's it for what I bought when I watched today. Unfortunately, the yard sales were a bit of a bust. Only found those 2 mediocre titles. But I did get some great stuff at the flea market, which was fantastic. And I watched one of my all-time favorite movies, the scariest movie I've ever seen tonight. So, great evening. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned to see what I bought and what I watch tomorrow. See ya.